This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings. Online at madeformorerealty.com.
Man, I was so thankful that Marguerite took the time to drive down here.
Oh my goodness. She's been in this business for a long time.
Almost as long as I've been sucking air.
To think about the industry prior to computers and the internet is just mind blowing.
Yeah.
You know, because you do so much of the business now is so dependent on not only computers and technology and the internet, but now artificial intelligence. And there's just so much going on. And it's just crazy to think, okay, how would I do this without a computer?
It is interesting to think about. It's also cool to hear her perspective on how the role of the real estate agent has transitioned over the last 30 plus years.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's a lot of talk, hey, is the AI going to replace real estate agents? Is technology going to do away with that aspect of the industry? But what's interesting is recent reports are showing more and more people are, one, using more realtors than never before in history. And then what's interesting, too, is we are starting to hear the compensation is increasing. For so many years, people thought it was going to compress, but with recent law changes and recent, just market dynamics, we're seeing those fees increase. And so more people are using agents, and they're seeing a greater value. That's why they're paying them more. They're seeing a greater value in what the agent brings to the table.
Right, the good ones, right.
Yep.
Finding the quality.
Yep. So if you are thinking about, like, there's so many people right now I know that are stressed out thinking, my house is on the market. Why is it not selling? Well, one, I would go back to your agent and have an honest conversation about price. Literally, before we came on the radio show, I had another agent in my office. She said, Johnny, can you analyze this house? Why is this house not selling? She's like, we started here. We've dropped it. They dropped it $50,000. I looked it up on the MLS. We pulled up the comps. 2 other homes within this, not even like the same neighborhood, like around the corner from this home, sold for, $20,000 and $25,000 less than what they're currently listed at. So in the seller's mind, they'll have to come down $75,000 to get in line with the market. But really, they haven't lost anything. They haven't taken any money out of their pockets and had to shell out that $75,000.
Yeah.
They're just now coming in line to where the market is. So if your house is sitting on the market, like Marguerite said, if it's based on the condition, the location, the marketing, well, then all you really have left is price. And so have an honest conversation with your real estate agent. If you don't have a real estate agent, if you aren't actively listed and you're wanting to have an honest conversation about what your home can fetch in today's market, contact me. Just go to madeformorerealty.com. I'll come out. I'll meet with you. It's a non-salesy conversation because we have to decide a couple different things. One, do you want to work with me, right, if it makes sense? And 2, do I want to work with you? Life's too short, they say, to drink bad wine. Life is too short to work with people who aren't, a good fit for each other.
Yeah, makes sense.
And so we'll have that honest conversation.
And for some folks, they don't want to, and we talk about this all the time, especially in your commercials, that if there's homeowners who maybe they're retired or maybe they have a family member who's not feeling well and they don't want to do staging and open houses and, all of that stuff. And maybe there's some repairs that need to be done and they just want something simple and easy. You have a program for that as well.
Yep. We can certainly help you with all of that.
Yeah.
So it just depends on how little or how much you want to be involved. Some people are more hands-on. They want to be out there swinging the hammer. They want to be doing all the upgrades and updating. Again, I just want to set the tone. You don't have to do those repairs, right? If
and
you
there's
want to.
It's crazy how many people I talk to who think that way. The home has to be perfect in order for me to sell it. And so they get overwhelmed and they get stressed out and they get paralyzed and they don't do anything. They say, and they just keep putting it off when they could, they just need the facts.
Yep. Just have us out. We'll have an honest conversation about what to do, what not to do, what's going to make you the most amount of money. It kills me when I go out and people say, hey, I did this, and this. And so the home's worth a whole lot more now, right? And I'm like, no.
Do you realize we buried our puppy in the backyard? That in itself is worth an incredible amount of money, right?
It's what is it?
There's so much emotion into their home. They sweat and blood into that. And so they think there's some kind of real financial value to that to someone who's going to buy it, and there's not.
So I wasn't even going to talk about this, but this is a really good point. If you are doing maintenance or repairs on the property, that is just maintaining the value.
Right.
So, for example, there was this house we had listed for a while in Rockland. They had done 0 maintenance, 0 repairs over the 30 years they lived there. But they still wanted market value. The roof was shot, the siding was shot, the foundation was on a subfloor. It needed significant repairs. So they saved the money. The money, didn't go out in terms of repairs. They saved the money by not making those repairs. But the bill always comes due. So now when you sell the house, just because you didn't make the repairs, and you were fine with that, the next buyer is probably going to want those repairs made. So you've already saved the money. You're going to have to adjust your pricing accordingly. Now, if you're making the repairs as you go along, you're treading water. Okay, so you're not necessarily getting ahead. I replaced the AC. The AC went out last summer. Okay, that's a maintenance item. That's not improving the condition of the home.
Right.
Most buyers, if not all of them, want a working AC. They want a working furnace. They want a hot water heater. You didn't increase it by the cost of the hot water heater. Now, where you start getting into making improvements to the home, this isn't maintenance. This isn't fixing a leany fence, right? That's where you start increasing the value of the property. So, hey, we remodeled the kitchen. We remodeled the bathrooms.
Right.
The flooring was bad. Now we put in upgraded flooring. It didn't have RV parking. Now it does. These are things that are improving the home's value, not just maintaining the home's value. So when you're thinking about what you're going to do to the property, look at it through those lenses. Is it maintaining the home's value or is it improving it?
Right.
A new roof is not going to increase your home's value by $30,000. It might cost you $30,000, but it's not going to improve the value by $30,000. Homes need roofs.
Right.
Make sense? So if you're curious, if you want to know what to focus on, what not to focus on, go to madeformorerealty.com, and we'd be honored to come out and meet with you in person.